Hello and welcome to a very not so special episode. I'm not a massively political individual, and I've only mostly talked about perceived to be political topics and going in about information on them for the most part. But after yesterday and now on the 11th, I'm going to talk a little bit about recent events as the yard crew goes insane in the background. So, yesterday, on the day that this was being recorded, Charlie Kirk was killed, assassinated, as they would say, and not for any hateful elements of him, not to save the world from the next mustachioed painter or bushy browed freaking communist or whatever justification people gave, but because a man would go to a place and have a conversation. A 32-year-old man had children who would go and talk to people, and they didn't have to sit there and talk to him if they didn't want to, who thought the world could be changed by talking. And much like a previous man, he was killed for it. And what can we compare this to? Well, the same kind of people who shot Mr. Kirk are the same people who shot Martin Luther King. People who are just entirely intolerant, hateful, consumed by anger, envy, and a desire to destroy things. And they decided to kill a man who just wanted to talk to them. And again, I'm not a political person. I don't really get into politics very often. But I did live in Germany. I did go through the matters with the wall and the things after it. And the one thing I can say is this. When people stop being willing to talk, they only want one thing. And what they did was they turned a man into a martyr. They turned him into the next, or the modern day Martin Luther King, and they've turned themselves into people who will be remembered only as villains, monsters, the bigots and racist of the past who sought to destroy and silence anyone that dared to have an opinion they didn't like and couldn't countermand without anger and hatred. And it is an interesting situation to sit there and to look at it and go, I didn't really follow the man. I didn't really check out much of what he said, but when I looked into him after all this, all I saw was a guy who went and had conversations, and that was what they were afraid of. They were afraid of a man who would sit peacefully down and talk. And the one thing I would say to any of these people is do not let this be what stops you from doing the same thing. Because the entire point is to stop this. In Germany, when we had the worst times, they stopped people from talking. And it was about keeping you silent. They didn't want you to talk about the things going on. They didn't want you to make anyone uncomfortable. They didn't want you to say that there was a better way, or hey, maybe just disagree even if you were wrong. They wanted you to sit down, shut up, and be silent, so that those who thought they had a right to power could maintain it and didn't have to worry about actually having to sharpen their ideas, have to confront that maybe they were wrong, maybe they were right, maybe that things that they thought should be tinkered. They just wanted you to be silent, so nothing had to be changed. And in this case, we have a 32-year-old man with children shot because he wanted to sit down and have a conversation. That conversation is too much. The potential of being proven wrong is too much. The potential that someone might think differently than you is too much. And the thing is, I want people not to be angry, not to carry this on with turning their hearts into stone, but to refuse to let these people have what they want. What do they want is one thing, and I'm going to tell you exactly what it is from someone who saw what was happening and lived through what was happening in Germany, and that is simply this: shut up. They want you to shut up. They don't want you to talk. They don't want you to be peaceful. They don't want you to be Gandhi. These are the people who would hate what Gandhi did. They would want to sit there and beat him because they don't want you to talk. They don't want you to have a polite conversation where you go, hey, I just want to talk. That's all. You don't have to change your mind. You don't have to do anything. You just talk. And if you don't want to do that, you walk away. Because at the end of the day, these people do not have the ability to tolerate disagreement. Their worldviews and their ideas fall apart when the sand under their foundations is revealed. They don't have the ability to tolerate conversation, disagreement, and not even like vicious disagreement. You don't have to have liked Mr. Kirk. You don't have to have agreed with him. But when people go, talking is too much, we have a problem. And I would say this: I would like people to choose the road that Charlie Kirk did. Talk to people. These people might try to kill you. They might try to get rid of you. They might try all kinds of things. But the moment they shut you up, they have killed you permanently. You are not a person the moment you cannot speak. You are a thing. You are cattle to be moved from one place to another. And the one thing that they fear the most is the man who has an opinion. To use a very badly retold quote from Game of Thrones, to take a man's tongue away is to reveal to the world that the most horrifying thing to you, the most damning thing to you, is what they had to say. So I hope you have a fantastic day, and don't worry, I'm not going arch. This was just me looking at these things from an outsider's perspective and going, I don't think people should be silent. I think people with all of their different views should be talking, and at the end of the day be able to shake hands and go, hey, we disagree, but damn it, we have the ability to say what's on our minds, right or wrong. So it's not going to become a trend with me, but I just wanted to get this out after seeing these things. And I hope you all have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.